This is the ABQ Business Podcast with your host, Jason Rigby. Each week we'll interview visionary business leaders to inspire the creative power and spirit that's in every entrepreneur. Discussing strengths, weaknesses, strategies, systems, and the problems we can all solve together for a new future for local small business.
We're going to get a little serious today, if you guys are fine with that. I want to talk specifically about how you can get unstuck, how you can understand that little gap of where you currently are and where you know you should be. Before we get into that, I want to thank one of my sponsors, Quality Mazda. I don't know if you've ever looked at a Mazda before. You should, especially the Signature Series. If you're looking at a Lexus, Infiniti, BMW, Mercedes, go check out a CX-5 Signature Series. They are the premium brand, and it's about $10,000 to $12,000 cheaper too. And look at the ratings. Go online, go on Consumer Reports, Motor Trend, Car and Driver, and look and see how the ratings are on the vehicle. You're going to be impressed. Totally new Bose system, better than a lot of the other ones that are out there. It's like a 2.0 Bose system. It sounds. I have a Signature CX-5 that I'm driving right now. Absolutely amazing. Extremely impressed, and I encourage you to do that. If you're looking for a vehicle, Quality Mazda, it's on Lomas Boulevard. They've been here since 1957 locally here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And I encourage you can go to the website, qualitymazdanm.com. That's qualitymazdanm.com. Let's get to the show, guys. Today, I want to make sure that we completely get where society's at right now. I want us to make sure we completely get where we're at psychologically right now. And if you look at majority of people, they're in this fake reality, in this simulation of wanting comfort. In fact, if you look at post-World War II and we see everything that's happened, the whole idea was, to find a labor job. Mom stays at home, dad works, kids go to school, 9 to 5, one car, you buy your house, you retire in that house, you take 2 weeks vacation, a couple vacations a year, and that's just how you live your life. But we know that the world has changed dramatically. We know the internet has made this a whole new reality. Many of you are entrepreneurial in spirit. Maybe you're not an entrepreneur yet. Maybe you're still working that 9 to 5 and you've got a little side hustle going. I want you to understand society's expectations from you, the institutions that are out there. We're already seeing colleges break down, higher learning. The media, what a shit show. I don't care if you're on the left or the right. It does not matter. It is big marketing ploys to sell commercials. Everything is boom, boom, boom. Trump does this, boom, boom, boom. Biden is this. Maybe it's your employers, your employees, the leaders that are around you, your family, your friends. They have expectations for you. And those things permeate inside of you to the point to where they can, if you're not careful in a negative way, they can destroy your soul. And some of you are listening to this and you're at that moment right now. You're like, I had somebody tell me that today. They're like, I really don't know if I even have a soul. I have no idea. I've turned into this ruthless person. And I'm thinking to myself, why do you feel that you've had to be that defensive for so many years where you can't even understand yourself and the emotions that are in you? You've blocked everything to the point to where you're numb and nothing. I always like to look at like those carbon monoxide detectors you buy, and we always have them in our houses. Why? Because there's this fear of not waking up in the morning, right? This odorless, colorless gas that can just grab you and take you off to la la land and you're done. And I think if you think of societal pressures, the influence that are around you, it's so funny how unsuccessful people have the most say in what you should do or not do. How many successful people around you, like the ones that you want, that you respect, the ones that what you view success as? Success for you is totally different than anybody else. Maybe you making $100,000 a year and having a ton of freedom is way better than you making $1 million a year and be chained to a big company. Whatever it may be for you, whatever you define success at, the people that are around you, are they experiencing that success? Can you respect them? Have they already got there to that level? If they haven't, why are you listening to them? You could still be friends and not take certain advice from people. You can still have family and know, I mean, we all have the village idiot in our family, right? I'm probably that one. That's funny. So let's look at that gap between who you currently are and who you know you should be. And I know that's that irritating rub. That's that part that we always feel like we have to deal with. And some of you use distractions so you don't think about where you're at and where you know you should be. Some of you just kind of cope with it and you've just dealt with it and you've been in mediocrity for years and it's just the way you do. I come home, wish my life was better. It's shitty. Oh, cool. There's a new show out on Amazon or Netflix. Awesome. Let me watch this. Oh, yeah. Let me grab this bottle of wine or this alcohol bottle or whatever it may be. Let me, smoke myself with marijuana to oblivion so I don't feel any pain. Or you can look at where you currently are and know where you should be and embrace that tension, embrace the pain, and look at the outcome that you want through self-improvement. The motto from Nike, just do it. I love it. That's what it is, guys. It's you saying, okay, I'm just going to do this. It's going to take a while. I can't run 5 miles in 30 minutes today. I'm going to walk for a mile every day, and I'm going to do that for a month. And then the next month, I'm going to walk for 2 miles. And the next month, I'm going to walk for 3 miles. The next month, I'm going to walk for 4 miles. Next month, I'm going to walk for 5 miles. Then I'm going to try to jog, walk, and see how that goes. Keep my heart rate up. And I guarantee you in a year, you'd be able to run that if you kept at it. But that's the issue. We look where we currently are. We'll get a little spurt of energy, a little heroin shot into the arm. And then we get a little high from it. And then we do it for a day or two or 2 weeks. And then we're done. And we're back to the way that we were, just slid. How many of you remember Chutes and Ladders, that game? If you haven't, you got the little ladders, you're climbing up. And then you go, right down the ladder. So what can we do? You have to look at the short-term feelings and your long-term goals. Short-term feelings is what you're paying too much attention to, because no one wants pain because they want comfort. But when you're comfortable, as we saw on WALL-E, the ultimate comfort, remember that? Those guys just blobs sitting around drinking milkshakes, letting robots do everything for them. Some of you, that's the life. Perfect. You're not going to live very long. You've got to learn to embrace the suck. You've got to learn to want pain. You don't want to be comfortable. Long-term goals are there to challenge you. As humans, our brains for millions of years has been in survival mode. It's what we do. We love a challenge. We love competition. We love to work. That's what we are. If you're trying to go against that, I guarantee you're not a very happy person. You have to believe in delayed gratification, to embrace and vision and fully see the rewards of what can happen a year from now when you start walking and then walking, jogging, and then running. Because I'm going to tell you, the downside of stagnation in that nasty, yucky, murky, algae-filled, no-flow pond. Have you guys ever been to one of those, like down south? I'm from Florida originally. That's where I was born, Florida, Georgia area. And they have those little ponds and there's like no spring on them or anything, or they just died. There's no fish or nothing. And then they just absolutely stink. Just absolutely disgusting. Nothing in there. Society is motivating you falsely. Society wants you to act a certain way. Your friends and family, your boss, everybody around you wants you to act a certain way, and that's not the real you. And how long have you been faking it? I'm telling you, the comfortable lifestyle of the masses is not for you. It's not for anyone. If you look at what's happening right now, the people that are just goofing off and hardly not doing anything are the ones that are getting hurt by this. If you're just sitting around and you're obese and you're eating really bad food, COVID's out for you. If you're not in a shitty job and you're not necessary, guess what? You're out of work. There's tons of people out of work right now just living off of, you can't live off of unemployment. It's nothing. The amount that they give you is nothing. You may think it's fine. I've got my weed. I've got my Netflix. I got my shitty apartment. I'm golden. No, that's not life. That's you surviving. It's not that way anymore, guys. It's not the way to be average. If anything else happens like COVID, you need to be the person that is working on yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, so that you have an opportunity to be a leader. There's no one that's going to save you. No politician on the left or the right is going to save you. Trust me on this. You have to save yourself. I have it right here on my screensaver at my computer. Nobody cares. Work harder. I've talked about that 100,000 times. If you want to get the full extent of that, Cameron Haynes, he's an athlete for Under Armour. You can look him up. I think it's Cam Haynes on Instagram. He's always posting and talking about it. He's just running 20 miles every day, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. It's going to get worse for people that are average in our society. As the poor get poorer and the richer get richer, and that divide begins to happen more and more. How many people are in student loans? How many people have over $100,000 in student loans? You will be shocked. There are people with 200, 250,000, and they put big amounts like $1,000 a month down on it, and they're not even touching the principal. They have student loans as what a house would be. That pain that you experience, that pain that you have from those student loans, that pain that you have from being average, that pain that you have from being lazy and just sitting around and not giving a shit, that pain where you just kind of just work and you're like, whatever, and you got your headphones in, that pain when you don't give two shits about your family or your friends and you're just kind of half-assing it until you get some alcohol or drugs in you, and then you turn into a different person. But then the next day you don't want to wake up and you're lazy as fuck and you're feeling like shit. And then you get depressed and then you don't want to talk to anybody. All of that pain should motivate you to get the fuck up, to understand that you and only you can save yourself. That pain that you're experiencing is a signal, like all pain. It's a signal that something is wrong. The pain that's in society right now is a signal that something is wrong. And though I can't help that, neither can you. The only thing you can do is work on you and be a better person. Work on you and make sure that you're not a racist. Work on you and make sure that you're not extreme to the right or to the left. Work on you and make sure that you don't have hatred in your heart towards others. Whether they're Americans, Filipinos, French, I don't care who they are. They're a human being that has a life inside of them, and you should treat everyone equally. It says that in the Constitution. Guys, we have to understand that pain is a signal that something is wrong and that we must decide to heal it. But you know what everyone does? They just dig their heels in even farther. They go deeper. They get more dumb. They get religious. And they look for a savior, somebody that's going to save them out of this, when the person that can save them out of this is themselves. Hard work, discipline, doing the things that you don't want to do. But I would rather have the pain of my discipline and me doing what I need to than have the regret and the pain of when I'm older. I'm 47 years old. I can run, I can exercise, I can lift weights. There's a lot of things that I can do for my age. I can remember my father at 47 going to the hospital all the time. You guys remember that? People were old when they were like 40 and 50. Not anymore. Society's changed dramatically. We can live to be 100 easy. I don't want to be a part of this society. I don't want to be a part of the equation that creates division and hatred. I'm not about that. You know what I want to be? I want to be free. And I'll escape all the bullshit so that I can be free. And you know deep inside of yourself that you want to be free too. So what are you going to do about it? You have got to find the motivation that's only inside of you to change. You can't watch a YouTube video or listen to some pump-up song, Rocky song, or whatever it may be. The only way you're going to have lasting change is you decide inside of yourself to accomplish that. You need to see what you envision for yourself with you being a 10 spiritually, mentally, and physically, what that looks like in the future. Write it down. Get a vision board. Put things that you want on it. What is your life going to look like when you stop bullshitting yourself? Let me say that again. What would your life look like if you stop bullshitting yourself? And then what will your life look like if you continue down this chutes and ladders, just constantly up and down, and never started the business, never really had a great career, never worked on my body, never had a great relationship. Everything is just average. But I have 500,000 hours logged into Netflix and Xbox and everything else. Those things do nothing for you guys. Name one good thing for it. You're going to feel stuck. You need to wake up. You need to look forward to the pain of getting better, the pain of discipline, the pain of you wanting to say no, and you correct that instantly and you say yes and you go do it. Is it going to be hard? Are you going to feel sad and depressed? Are you going to cry? Yes, all of the above. But I don't want regret. I hate that word, regret. I don't want to look back in my life and say, I could have done this better. I could have done this better. Or why didn't I do this? I don't want the 2-week vacation, the one house, the one car, and a paycheck and working for the man. I don't want any of that. I don't want to be living in limbo. I don't want to be living paycheck to paycheck. I don't want any of that. I don't want to just be hanging out so that I can retire and then die 5 years later. Don't live in limbo, guys. Do the thing that you know is right deep inside of you. Do the thing that only you know. I don't care what your parents say. I don't care what your friends say, your relatives. You know what makes you happy. You know the vision and drive that's inside of you. You're studying to be an accountant when your passion is skateboarding? Come on. Open up a skateboarding business online. Do tutorials online. Show people different tricks that you can do. Have a website where people can pay $25 a month and they can learn from you. And you go on Instagram and YouTube and you pour passion into that. And you learn about video and you do it over and over again. And guess what? You're going to be an accountant, make $60,000, $70,000 a year and hate your life and hate getting up every morning and waste your life. And then you're going to get 30% of that to Uncle Sam. And for what? When now you're young and you can do the skating thing? Come on. What are you lacking in talent and lacking in motivation? Think for yourself. Write it down. Where am I lacking in this? What am I doubting? And I want to specifically know these things. What am I doubting? What am I lacking in talent that I can work on? And where am I not motivated at? How can I get my dream to soar? How can I jump off that cliff and just begin to soar? I know it's going to take a little bit for my wings to start flapping, but I know they can happen. How can I do that? That's self-awareness, guys. If that's one word for my podcast. Every episode I have, everything I do is about self-awareness. because it's something that I work on constantly, daily. It's something that I need humility in. It's something that my brain wants to play so many tricks and tell me, no, you worked out yesterday. You don't need to work out today. Why don't you take a rest? I don't need a rest. You know what I need? To keep my level of velocity going so that I can move rapidly. Let's get out of the rat race, guys. Let's just be done with all this garbage. Let's get the hatred out of our hearts, the division out of our hearts. Let's know that the highest vibration that we can have, everyone knows this, whether you're in Christian, Islam, Judaism, whatever it may be, every single religion out there says love is number one. How do you love yourself first and then love others? How do you do that? By being the best version of yourself. By giving yourself a break and saying, you know what? I can do this. I know I'm talented. I know this is my passion. This is for me. And I know I can do this. Love yourself, guys. If you can't love yourself, you hate yourself, you're going to hate people around you. And that's going to create what we've got right now, all this division and hatred. We don't need this in our country. We don't need this in the world. And I'm not just saying this to be, we need love, we need love. I'm saying this, we need people that understand self-awareness. We need people that understand what it means to be the best and how that feels inside of you. You know how you feel after you run or after you take a great walk or after you give a gift to someone and you see their face light up, or after a child gives you a big hug and tells you they love you. That's the feeling. You can have that all the time through discipline, through self-awareness, through working on yourself. You can display that and have that energy all the time. That love can be there. The caring for others. It emanates from you first and then seeps to others. It's like a tidal wave. And then you begin to influence people, not with fear and negativity and scarcity, but with abundance, with love, with compassion, with peace. Oh, how much peace do we need right now? Let's be peacemakers, guys. Let's take the time to become self-aware. Take the time to write everything down and say, I am going to commit. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to let everyone know this is who I am. This is what I want to do. You don't like it? Oh, well, this is me. I'm committed. I'm disciplined. And I'm walking the path. And I'm going.
Thank you for joining us on the Albuquerque Business Podcast. And thanks to our sponsor, RigbyDigital.com. Make sure to subscribe and share. And go to ABQPodcast.com. Get show notes, resources, and links to everything we talked about today to help you navigate your journey as an entrepreneur and business owner.